mwopiara obotum wenya was ababwa in health structures no wa equipment and the building itself no we would very much appreciate that. When you come to education, often the books want some often motivation to teachers. Na nyamaka kroka kahu
ICT about computers.
ICT in particular, because now ICT is a driving force in so many areas. I'm an IT person. My background is IT. I very much appreciate IT to the level that there is going to come a time that everything is going to pass through IT. How are kids going to cope if say ICT equipment or use? Sabi, we don't necessarily need the very new things. So slightly used, but a little modern. Mankada wankafa a cake.
Outmoded.
Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3.
Ashafo emomo akwaba eba obunoma TV do nanso ye hyebium dama de bia ye kanu Anomabo hia papa nti eguduru dia pro e Anomabo the last time ye ba ha be interview ya sana ba because Anomabo kro nankasa ohia papa na eti station ni di nkura etimu de Anomabo hia because obu noma wona wonim abekosema wata Anomabo chi no obu home America no nti mo nyina ra kwaba e de ba abunoma TV so na Mikael de ebe subscribe, I share na sanso I hit notification bell no I like na comment na ochede afufuro nyina nye bi na comment no banso ayetimi akane hu aza potia epede yeyemo nande yasa befia yewo papa enyonyamfu bi ewa ha minim na charpa o start di Anomabo sika charpa papa ehuni posture na ade no we discuss charpa no answer minti na be bisa ni scanner we di ni nyina abade no wode ye mpuntu djuma okodo ewo Anomabo yare ba be ho nsem ebisa daddy mo akwaba
enya
my friend daddy ana minua ni nyina ya corona because minimum wa charpa papa start ere Anomabo hu edjuma acher nipa nso bebre ni mom kroma nti ye bebisa udin ankasa ya bede aminim de wo fro Fiifi but ode bo udin ankasa na emde ahwefo nso hu de papa we ni ani di nkom
from Fiifi Asare.
Fiifi Asare na mpocho Anomabo kro nusu waka Fiifi Asare what is your work in Anomabo ana udibru a ewo Anomabo ne de
Fiifi Asare me assembly member o krokasi mokokodo Anomabo sabi oye kruwa aso kakra fine nti ye were 4 assembly members 4 electoral areas na ameme assembly member one of the electoral areas, in fact the largest electoral area my electoral area no is about 80% of Anomabo town. Yes, Anomabo is a traditional area and our communities be satellite communities be, but Anomabo crew no make it about 80% because villages kakra kama nti crew kasim okokodo electoral area assembly member on the Fiifi Asare.
Fiifi Asare da ye kan since wo area no sunu no chere Anomabo kura ka ho nti bibi okodo Anomabo bia no enim hu bi.
Oh, muntum kada bi biara okodo minyim hubi nemam nekase minyim enyo osande anamontu bebri wo wa yetu yenya ahemfo other opinion leaders yetu yina yeti popu ho sabi assembly members ayeho yina mpo no yenya nkrankro nanto na yeye impen bebre yina ya kan ya adwen ya zeboa no osande Anomabo ne puntu na na kan call yina ya hwehwe enti se awo me electoral area ana different assembly member na electoral area no yina ya kan ya hu ya zeboa no ya kan ya adwen boa no na yeti misese ne yetu anaman yezizi hujuma enyo dem not
masama na yen start yen nkomotwetwe ne mfi occupation owo Anomabo krodu nyina se yeka wo kon bibia efi no obro na eye assemblyman wo no oka Anomabo ho nti yen hwe occupations ana ejuma ben potin no wa Anomabo a mbabu no na yen papa no wo ye pan wa Anomabo.
Ozikan Anomabo is a typically fishing community. Meka fishing community either farujuma poko oni ejuma titira awa Anomabo osande Anomabo no nchechire nara ofa poko ho but sisara yereka sei ejuma bi ekoro na ebi ani bi so abeka ho ye wa akrachifu wo ma achechefu wo nurse fu wo ye wo ekuafo so wo na maka the variety of jobs wo namum ne kesenara oye apujuma osande ye Anomabo za Ghana fanina obi anyim do oye typical fishing community ye kopo papa ye za kotin wapukom nti ye kan afarfujuma no no doso Anomabo nembom ebi keka ho de akrachi fujuma so kakra wa ha na ekujuma so kakra amara amtena me community no me electoral area no me wo fishing communities wom na me wo farming communities wom na ye wo akrachi fo no so woni ndwuma fact the whole of Anomabo no say marine zakushwa 90% of akrachi juma ana akrachi sam na akrachi anamuntu no wo me electoral area krokasi mukokodo oye kesi wa nti mereka na chede ejuma ozikan oni afarfo juma
nti yanhwe fishing no ka de ebia epufo na wo hapa na fishing ejuma no na wo ye wa yanhwe the development of fishing industry na e wa Anomabo ansana ya graduate aba farming ankasa onye onkita large part because sa farming ni ho a menjindi de kuro betimi ayeden enya fapempa nti yanhwe fishing no how far is the fishing industry going e wa Anomabo so far na
fishing industry growing up in Anomabo sabi ya agwuru mpwana papa na enyim de empanpi no poko oyezin ansa na bafofo ho boko hema azeboko afaza azeboko na so ekopa ebenya nam ni bi na zaba sabi eziska na ezeboto fuel na za kopo na ekwana se ebenye bio inye bio enyim na aya empenpin epoko ne bebi kakra te de normal vehicle transportation se etu haze kwankan eze kwata kra de eze kokumase se benye nyipo onyipo enyim na mom afarofo ne zipo oyeze ne chin karazin usande one into mka parking ne baby nka da recho passengers ekwa ona ide ekwa ni nyanam ana nyanam na mo mpen pinu fiti those days 80s ni mu a ya started ya kompano yenyim nzama akwado wo mpano yenyim na ma abofo wo papa ewure ne ber obai na nwude epokon oyede na mum odu baby a ihe na nkasa ye ne nnuanu ma wokopo ibinum wana na montu wo mpano no ndi yi osande fishing practices no ibi wo no ma onyaza osere ye nso yɛredwene ndanko yɛmu binom menkada ho nyinaa because ebinom wɔ hɔ a
nso wano na esi fishing practices no na nse you good and bad nti yenhwe fishing practices na ereka na ansa na atodo what are some of the fishing practices are where omboa pofudwuma na nkasa
number 1 you will be our fun light fishing yenuanum na sabi wakopo no ebinom wakwa was generators and with the enamano they are attracted to light nti was the generators na was a couple na was a so kandia was a tupunumu kandia na ko tupunumu no heater eswa ofi kandia no hono ban osopa papa nti obandama enam nketenkete abrofo be ka na fingerlings wo nyaro ku nyara nti na merechira so we light fishing na aduna ide wo pada wo kire nam namum enama oku hona ancha onsede wowu enam nkakrama nketenkete enama ancha wona etino ntum mpani nyaro boku nyina na ma oya ya won ide enam na ampo woze baba na oya ya de enama nka wo sha ase da woro nuan so wan sha da anua nti na waka ye bibi oho na yenum binum yenuanum no binum wodwene sika no hochen aza abamama woni dwumezi na akodanyim na ochena asem nti se sabe ateda nyimpa ye wo ho se yenemba oruwa na ochela hen asa na orehwon nti se wode light no kotopunimu na oku fingerlings nam nketenkete na ndeda nanne wa bobo hon wo gupum na wori banyini wa ya akase ma ya akapa hon na so oku ho a na ochede nnam na ochena ye bapa hon na ye ku hon nde na so ebinim ho aso adi nti ye ka wontei oto adi bio ye obinim a wakwa wato bibia wo fa na dynamite na ochede was the explosives was it to punimu into a blaster so brafo mo fa no shoal of fish enama wabo no pi nya na wanam wato chinima na chere we kunam ni nyina na wasesaw na aso eku ho no nka kama wowom ndendem ba wowom hona ho wowom woina we ku ho aka ho ochena wonyin wambaka nama wo pum no ma nkapa ho at baby so a bibi was it them washing powder see b osanda ebinim okopa sometimes was a number of days in the namna wa pananara was it what men pay about washing powder ability because all the man na may say obi na djuma oya powder ya yazo furadi na wada ahore naman inti namna wa ya dada wana ra obe fisu baba na nwa fita today enam fofura ma na wapan which is not good for the human consumption yenu anma farfo yehu nya na waye inti binam won bin yenu anum won inti mijize there these are some of the bad fishing practices or koda omboa afarfuduma ma onkodanyim na nzaba papa mfim mfamba
no asamanye no mamoro mfide erehwe obonoma tv na yene assemblyman Mr. Fiifi ne yene ntwitwi nkomo na ebisa na about fishing ya enim there that is the main occupation or Anomabo ne mpotemu nyina fishing na bebre na we nti ye bebisa there institution bia no yewo leadership institution mu ti say opanu say omo ye delegate one wo head am afare juma no ho wo ma rules and regulations enye bia Anomabo ye obi wa ha na woni juma ne den wotumi ma kwan ma manfo ye those bad practices pona no
yes majis there yewo anawontu bebri wo ha okodo nemum in society no ami personally, me with the culture and tradition or affecting negatively. Osande say osimesi anabenti bi we kotu anamon bi onsam fata owoda nche yetwena soa na echi wa akọ mpanyimfu bi mpanyimfu no menka da mpanyimfu bi awo baby including him bi them assembly members nara we go and plead on behalf of these people. When Osane Sazino Ma Omo. So on Saturday, why all the yin Yazan Tinamide, as an on Saturday. Nemo Mamu there. Obache Chilema, who did him pan there. Emma Quanamoko. Then would he, I know all of an young could be the bar. Then would he, the more he didn't know of Asa. No, yeah, church. And me feel that going forward, you know. Or that in a community. Ghana, as a crime, we there. Sir, driver, ye back there, police, ye be, oh, mama. Not the police, ye already, and you may mum no so mo. But police, ya, mama, driver, ye, or your mom fata. Not for the woody, not the 5 cities, no one. Oh, the police is a good man. We are rather praising those that are being corrupt and that are being or doing the wrong stuff and condemning those who are doing the right stuff. And to me, Jesus there, and me in particular, I am pushing from a different angle there. Look, these bad fishing practices, no. Growing up, now you are papa bi, a military officer. Now, obia a friend about the hay. One person within the entirety of infantaman. It is not even. You and my father, one hour man can see. They know what I'm talking about. Just one person. And if say you to me a pia, the Ministry of Fisheries, in conjunction with the Ministry of Defense, so you to me now, temporal military presence. It was not necessarily their community be anyebi. Nemom a stretch of communities, our fishing communities. So yenya naval officers ma ya outdoor mo we mu there naval officers where sabi soldier for waba ma today na mabi fiti eja Anomabo biruwa abanze komante ye mu there with soldier for aba ma wadi wan so with the boat and now no ma heme bi mpo ma wadi bokọ pum ma wa hwehwe da menyemi ma maka tro there inyama bebre ba start those osande inyankasa e ba advance yan. And if we are able to get one or two, I wouldn't use the term scapegoats. Scapegoat no to me ado obi anche ebi mpo anka onye bi na so wache na aka ho, but one or two culprits nkrofa was the medjumani bia on some fata na yense so hom abafensa no ma sabi wa ko jail 3 months mpo wana obaka kire dom na wa kan da mazi mu onye biu na ha mo biara mpere da baba ha biu osande ore ya wa kan ye ho iya make minyim da bebre no wo bubo fum. But personally I don't care because the right things must be done. Obaya ya ode yennuanu ma yenyi wonte community mu obodi baby na ho livelihood sabi nyama waya ma wan sa ko hwanu ondim ma akombadze ho obaya yaw nti yento anamon pempen ya oboboa obiara ne daachi wo no mabo na all other fishing communities kakra mutumaka
yɛnhwɛ sɛ ɛse yɛmpɛ sogyafo ne apolisifo a wɔbɛnam nsunudu naadze na mdɛ yɛwɔ ahemfo a a traditional area yɛka traditional area nso a to 100% and 90% of the governorship of the area no ɛfiri ahemfie nti abade na ahemfofo no wɔyɛ a wɔn mu bia nyankopɔn ama mo akɔ school ɛduru akyiri a moanya dibru ɛwɔ community no mu no abaze na wɔre a wɔbɛtumi de policies aba ɛbɛtumi abrɛ the madness ansa na yɛtumi nya the help of even police military men na adze na aba abade na ahemfo no wɔyɛ
majizi there communities in Yano or Wahimfum, and we have other opinion leaders. Mamuni there, and fanciful in particular. And now, in Sanafo, Ankasa specific. Yembu aze. In fanciful, in general. Put one. We don't put our chiefs at the pedestals that they belong to. But in some for years and years worse. In fact, we are not placing our chiefs at the pedestals, not even only our chiefs, all our opinion leaders, all our leaders, you know. In front of in general, we don't place our leaders at the pedestals that they belong to. Now, in Sanafode, when we talk to our leaders, we talk to them anyhow. So leader no cover decision be an trouble with him pa. Sabi yemu binum basisana horoba. So leader no one sheni ya bapa ba na wa recoil. Akasha ni shelim.
Mr. Fiifi, mamin so budum kakra yenhwe because yekade yerija wondam no why more pay because of onim kasa because sometimes we have to take the bull by the horn or dey yeshemra or your concrete there ya obechi watum yempe tax force aham rent any bi wa onimize enim na we ampede me chena obetimi am one hour tax force wobehwe epona no ho anytime hama bia bokọ epono do bia obe inspection dey ebia generator bi enim lighting bi enim bomb your friends saying dynamite bi enim obetimi aboda me ejuma because yakada yere twan ama a police for and a soldier for aba de nzama pi bakichi nti asema me bisa ne de abade ntina ahemfo no na won ntimi ho emma policy bi ana enye mra bi obetimi aboa ama yebenya woma obetimi gengina epona no ho yebe mo ahaman obetimi akọ inside oye nyimbiri so what akọ pono no do enyim
so many different times fishing and categories and the categories or be on a time or the the type of fishing or here
so far no abadina why asimpin fa wo hwe kro do obetimi abreda madnasi because ma the way arekasa no o problem pa o yada o haw epufujuma na ewa ha nti abazi na wo ye so fa obetimi abo ma bibia abafum
mutuma kade traditionally from the traditional authorities in Anomabo and then in conjunction with other opinion leaders yetu anamon pinyan yetu anamon pi mejizi de yesia apofo hinfo yesia apofo mba mutimu de ahemfo no wo mu bebre na other opinion leaders sabi what yechiru de nyama bi wo ha onyi de okodo namom epumna kwa no sabi ahemfo na opinion leaders intumzi ho echiru nko na nche yana yenuanam afarefon na wo de wo hu no wo sua de aza ayeri yeyi na nyama ayeri yeyi ore mama inya na nkasa hyanam ma wanda chi ore sei usande sabi ucheche yi oso obosho de hu aza okado onhwewa intum nchichire na mo wala na oda ka chon do de su hazi ama woda ati na nyim egbe amo meka de eyana ye wonsu anu ya so yezin ye mu bebre ya so yezin na so ni baby so ofi the kind of politics that we do in the country usande kakra me so mehu that I'm a political person, but there is one thing that I've learned along the line on there, whether in power or in opposition. Now, ya mama yenu anuma farfono, they play mind games with hen activities. Aza embra wada ye enforce ma otum zijina ma inyema kwadon. The moment the opposition starts talking, we refuse to enforce these laws, because it's all about wakachiro nsabatu bodu yabatu abetiya. If we are able to shift away from that issue of I am afraid of losing an election, nti anamano osede mutu munta, it will help us a lot. Yes, I am for one room. Osana intimate na community na nyama nkwachi na in respect there. Everything, every little step, somebody has to come and take it for you. And other opinion leaders like myself, yantunsu yankale ni na wa him for ho. Nti wongote wo yani na. It has to be a collaborative effort. The yin na ya kan ya adwen ne yitira poano. Na ya man kofi wa kodam kwan wa dam kwan da man mo yido se sabe ahin frejina de se itu da man mo yin na hinse so ma ya ba dam assembly members in the same line, abem painful in the same line, other opinion leaders within the same line. Minji leader se kwesi mense bi ana adwa na bi okotomra wa dam kwan no da. Anybody will have that zeal to defend, because yanyane dema onye osande awore yama awreko ye no bi so wa afa baby no say nti kakra mutuma ka afa won.
Okay, kakra Mr. Fiifi betimi aka oyede ye nyina ye collective effort a obetimi aboa ama bibia atoto na akọ enu obo Anoma TV obo Anoma TV na wa onu oguda rehwe na emde media pirisromu adinu mrobo na ya sometimes na wa bibia o ba men then me fantini nti oyede mbo made na mbo ni na ye ne yambra penyin assemblyman Fiifi na ye ne twitwi nkomo na ye besile bisa Rapini, yanhwe government on so no role o play ewo fishing industry no ana areas na wo coastal area, that's Cape Coast ni Mpotem ni Anomabo ni Mpotem nyina no. On say sometime back wakada wo besi waf wo seden bibi West African fishing then on so oboa ama rules and regulation ba, because at that time them there osin wepona no nti obama anka yebenya some rules are obetimi abwanti. How far with Anomabo when your wife ni bia na up to now won't see
medase say your government projects in Anomabo, the last 4 or 5 years I would say it has been enormous. Sunday nyama bebi owa na yemu binum po nya adwene ndada nchoroba nso waba ozikan the 2007 na Anomabo yen town roads na wa say why huntuma e kan twin wa ka dem futru but dem fanta fu fa ne huntuma. We got all our town roads tarred. What they call gudu gutters, drainages by Mambaso Kodo 2007. That was when we were doing the Ghana at 50. Inti yenya program bimpo wa mampain kufo at that time. Obey ma Ghana at 50 Yehudi. Inti Anomabo town road in Nano wayay.
road network ni de oil for papa why
nyame charge nso no sabi nanado the presidency the same road no why asphaltic overlay ni nado oche there 10 years afterwards why ekwan a wofa na asphalt no the total ni bi without the route ni nado on if you are when you can say one of my communities are all me electric or fan afafa why one district one factory it's 95% complete and that me call myself with my team one will process cassava into starch for export
and yaboko them yababe infrastructure ewo Anomabo but na emfa ne dey your fishing community hostel coastal areas no yare fishing no mo bobo madam problems na ye face ewo fishing poano ho no ye betimi akran because me kai there was wo besi dem waf na ama epofo nyina ewo biambia last time am ba Anomabo mo ko puna no was wa start ba won ye na wore pa abani chew there ombra and ye politics in area but ye mebe ya obetimi ama Anomabo etumpon na me bi so there dem waf no wa start na nye bia da ben no obewi a obetimi aboa epojuma no ewo.
Yeah, I'm the Ibisa question in generality. The Eban in Puntujuma no Aquado Anomabo. And so far as I'm in Anomabo, no, Crocasimo Cocodo, those communities in account. So I was, I
love when you started that place. We'll go back to those areas.
So, I say it is the only fishing one. Definitely, I would have stuck to fishing. But say Ibisa and Puntujuma Banwaya Waha only the meeting in Abacon. But that notwithstanding, Majis there a kawaf. There has never been a situation a banakad or a waf. No. When you say a waf is for a typical harbor, not just a fishing harbor. Ola chade nsuhian akese na wejina government never spoke about WAF. It spoke about landing sites. Many workers say originally Anomabo landing site. It was about the sea defense. Osanda na epeni nsuni baama nkana yesu na ya bobol wampana kube opa by about 7-8 lines ko eponenyim enanu bebe betu makachiro ya bobol ho baby po osochin field a wobodo ball obodi baby nkubedi nya epretutu ni na ma Anomabo a baby a offer service center a problem 2 times. There is a toilet facility over a 2 pano epo okay eko farawiano mpano farampano no nya awiano mpano a problem ma toilet facility over nya we bring, which tells us that a producible group nti abai ye the obey sea defense. Sea defense no, it's a 5-year project. On your project away in 2 weeks. Contractor no wakade, the contractor is trying to do it at lesser years than stipulated. But abai munuzi what's what I'm a 5-year project as a sea defense typically. That worry J amount for no when a japaza where sisi one panano no hoban. But along the line, in some colony be able to pay in my pempe yam in Eureka say Abana atase or a London site. Kawa say a London site aside the defense, we will be able to breakwaters. And Babano will lay diagonally into the sea to block the waves that are coming in directly from hitting. And see, we learn diagonally the Mukwana, not there. In Suniba, as a chino kababa, now we lay the diagonal nature. Nemum diagonal nature no so in Sunibi wa. Hinanuma Sabi, what the Himano, what about what for her? Now what park when your man. So it's more or less like a parking bay where they park their canoes and what I've used. If you put them back, Wababa Park. And this is Yurika saying the government has also accepted and it is adding that facility to the original one, sea defense. There are something we call tidal waves occasionally. If we need to be hirama, tidal as a general, of course, so that very strong waves. So I hit 1, 2, no way with them. And all these things are being catered, kind courtesy of an honorable MP, Madam Ophelia Mensah Hayford, and the honorable MCE, Honorable Ike Enu, wa very sea defense no in Zama ma a warrior the landing beach so account. Aside that, there were 1 or 2 communities nanka originally one kahun, but in Zama na crew ne be binti was one no was one recount them project no also about benefit them over the stretch along the Anomabo traditional area yakopono obe safeguard property along the beach and also the fishing gear and wear kakra mutumakani
the landing site no ekade orisi no the aboa no wa start another waka kakra mo
until we are done with the defense.
The land site can never be okay.
The human, you see, the human factor only number 1. Sabi you can bring back the economy, you can do this and that, but you cannot bring back the human life. Sabi nipane nkwa sa ato eben car se esi eben dan se inyimpa intuminsi intumuntomo he. So the first point of call is the human life. Into Aza abandoned yenano. The first point of call is there. You save human life. Only number 1. Human establishment. Number 2. Human livelihoods. Number 3. Into them naughty. Into sabi anomana way to know. It is BHU. Until we are done with the defense, we cannot do the landing beach.
Until we are done with the defense, we cannot do the landing base. Mr. Fiifi, Mr. Fiifi, you preservation. On the Oba Pwanoa, preservation is very important. On say Mr. Funaya water bre ewadam being fundo Bokakochi and Namnaba. Now what the bar, Sanamno Obuda, what system be one my boa, Obo Epufuno, wotimi preserve Namna Obano.
Currently, as we speak, which is the number 1 systems, only smoking of the fish. Also the namano aba waho. Ono no owa ocher ansano abakade ebia. Ono mponu akadori wa se mponu still onyaza. Sabi oya fresh within 2 hours no orewa within some. Nemum so waho ono the so many weeks. In fact, waho ne start being poor otumidi months. Until the number 1 preservation only the smoking. And now you other preservations to that watch na sabi wa be my mind. But as we speak, since about 2005, 2006 thereabout, along the coastal belt no was started a warrior coal stores governmentally na aban na that time no ofidin ye jemu gu ho mpempen ya menyu ka sei all these coal stores no there have been steps to activate them that mobile yana ha sanam no wa aba na we budum pa ye benye baby a oil storage oil coal storage and nam no so worom pro na ochena sabi inda ye yanam no sena ye yanam a yan mamenam yan nuanam wo botum na wa akotobi na aza wo pada wazi ye na waza. So these are some of the things that are currently going on.
Let's look at education when it comes to the sea. Most often in some areas in the mbofoma no a performance one time go school na education no or you be because nkwala no be ko epo no do wababa no wabre nti obia so niska or the no babo school na ze. As an opinion leader ana mpimfo wo Anomabo, what are you doing to advise these coastal areas about education, which is the key factor when it comes to development in our motherland Ghana?
Mejizi there nananum no ni other opinion leaders. In fact, I would use this opportunity to say thank you for our Anomabo. They have done a lot to help nananum no ni in assembly members. Well, a lot of the activities that we do. Sorry there, make us say Namumbo Hozing because it for one cool Wabo Kwambe Bedo. Sunday, as I really know, Sabi, Nananum with Ebusium, assembly members with Ebusium, whichever opinion leader that you are, you come from a family. And see, me use the Ebusium paying for no so one activities, one and a montuno, we need to acknowledge them. Them la, so I be so ya. Yabakan, so we be so or there can. Yanin yanum afarfo. I would say that Sisara Manuka say, yes, it be the one that Wamba Wampion school. But comparatively to the olden days, we have gone a lot forward. The first, just about 5 to 10% of our Farfo Wamba Woko school. Sisiano, roughly I can say boldly that about 30 to 40% work school. Now, my there, baby, no, we JHSA. Now we feel the school in every young, no, I power online, now work a different place. I would use this opportunity to talk to Yeninianum, Yenanum, Yenejanum. Nanum sabi wawo mpana wokopu de so obi ko school a bibi nsiu no kwanda obokopu namum sa eko school ni wi a nzama bebre wo ho a nyanyimzi wo ho nti yebese ho nyara de obiara ya wadwen de emeze mokopu nti mobaso Oko school on ye did a pononko tin na wako yabaso de and the Sanka Cramba Wadunum. So no pa no bokompa monko school. At least onko du secondary school. Community bi o mpade babo hozin. Osande ayadamana Maria Maya de. I am pitching my community against that community.
Oyaza obobua ebodi no obobua na ebia yenya development.
Madam osande romwa. Nwana awonyim mpemfo se eba ade tira na wohu da so okura. Nwa awonyim they will tell that the community no were one of the Anomabo communities. But 90% of official folk anye yekura no obi akoskule edu baby. Nti se wari yazi bia so kwan a wofado wazi yen. With all due respect, minkade sabi minya nimize wali no mokwa no. Ena mentu minkade sabi nwa wanko school no we bia ni na mo. Wona wanko school no so ebinim sabi wadwin modo a wo ye nyama osafata minim bebre a won so wo ye nyama dem a wo kasa ti nyama a okodu bebre nti mamma wanya da bia sabi nwa wanko school nwa bi mu ho akọ school per sabi won so wanya ma ye ndimu but they are in the minority nti mase hinya de wo mo hinyina te da makan no ahemfo assembly members ebusuam penyinfo other opinion leaders odoso yina ya adwonfo ankiti faako na yamma ya gbam no won tinya ma bi ase along a certain spectrum anya dem a ma ye we are fighting against ourselves ahemfo kesafa assembly members kesafa apofumbe kesafa other opinion leaders how do we achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves? So that my pain na chawde yena your issues yemfa issues in tunchen. Let us come to the drawing table, come to a compromise, and accept that we have challenges in Anomabo that we need to solve ASAP. Ayadama ya baye ya kom ya ba every chin either we will be at the same place or we will progress, which is never going to spell anything good for the entirety of Anomabo. Kakamutu makai
Ye order ya ko twa ba ye ba ye be education ye bia wona wo opon no wona wo nko school na school ni bi wo ho a obenya kwa na ana schools na ISKs yentwa ye ho bra ye ba na ye tue nkomo no do. Yo yasana ba yadawana si yakono musu kakra na yasana ba yani Mr. Fiifi etwenkomo famore fide Obunoma TV na wonu ogudo ahwehwe subscribe share like comment and hit the notification bell watch the video bia ya drop today eyi a yeri yenya drop ya na wonsa aka na watch the bibia atoto na akoru mu ama yegudu de twetwenkomo rapeni akwaba bio
enya
ne ebisa na ya reko break ne ya reka about education ewo eponano nti ya ebisa education nankasa ewo Anomabo ne mpotem no otidan asin educational infrastructure to say schools ne other things are oboma kro nyafa pempa no otidan wo Anomabo
makade educational infrastructure the yemu be ni ka infrastructure we only think about the physical building. But your infrastructure, there are other things that come into play. Furnishing, equipment, logistics, human resource, all these things are infrastructure. Sabi, if you don't build the human resource and you build the damage when that's you probably impana or the orchards no onyinimizina azainya wayakwa. So when we talk about infrastructure, it delves into a lot of stuff. Let me first of all talk about Danusiho. My community, we've been privileged to have two public educational setups. That is the Methodist and Anglican schools. The Methodist school, along the line where former President at Mills time was started project to be na Okodu baby, I think it was about 15 to 20% complete, talking to the contractor at that time. Na sabi nyameto nsa friend. That project didn't see any major continuation until the 2017 and now we take up power. Na we project na ya handover project no Zama school na you can say yedi inwaso desks and so another room the former MC in the time and only former MP of blessed memory Kwakwansa here for the time na yenya desks the one ono owo. Secondly, the Anglican school so we nya one chefa Anglican school so also under this regime we see classroom block wana no so yade finishing finishes is akomoye desk yada kuma sisiara we use yes mintum tram kade it is 100% okay. We still need more, especially desks no the yebe here be aka ICT centers maybe to the computers na the minyaman be as a school be currently as we speak some of the schools they have ICT rooms but computers in share anyim we now have one ICT center and mama will run a shift and the kids do not have ample time to learn ICT as they should and nyaman kaka kabi awaka in the educational sector no me the infrastructure wise mamotu makain but nkaka kabi so kan I de awofo no so in input kakra ababa ka ho ma hen mo fama no wana disua wezi mo sande going back in time the education was a competition, especially these two. In fact, that time in the public private school, Anomabo, I attended Anglican school as a public school. I have friends who attended Methodist and Catholic, and it was a serious competition amongst us. The Obia Pade new school was exams and what pay. That thing is diminishing. It is going away, and we need to really bring back, wake up that zeal again. The awufuno benya them again the yamba wo school awakwan or there wotum woko kodu pempendubi when sabi as in nim na nyansia odi suadu no odu pempendubi. It shouldn't only be about Moko school. It should be a competition that people vie to really outdo the other, and that is what will drive the young ones to become better than what they are now. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, is it only basic education? You have SHS na zinso Anomabo or only the basic schools?
We have Kujagri Senior High School. Kujagri Senior High Technical School. It's a combination of technical staff, vocational staff, and senior high. So they do vocational courses there, technical courses there, and the typical secondary course, school courses also there. And Kujagri, no so much to make improvement. In fact, improvement about they have a new site that no so former President Atamel started project to be. But currently, as I speak to you, it's almost complete, and there have been additional structures. The last 3-4 years, it's also in my community. The old school is not in my community, but where you have the new campus, or more community, the same community that I spoke about, the one district, one factory, no, or one or the teachers bungalow, kakao, why classroom blocks be nazi, ben with the nyama be akodo. Old campus in also kakra akodo. A big good or kodo. As I speak to you, I wouldn't mention it too much, but there is an oncoming meeting on a project area where old campus where you expedite that project or dining hall. To the best of my knowledge, I want to strictly say that Mangasa, to the best of my knowledge, we want to even vary the project to also carry an ICT center for the school itself, the secondary school of Kujagri. There, why ICT center, Nasano, why the dining hall, or Yankoma, Amy as a person in Yimping for Bizia, you spearheaded the year push Mobokodu because assassin why isn't. When you get a space, a little space, you rather have to build up, not widen it, not stretch it on the land.
Yan shift your home fee education akapi ya ba bebisa no the banye bibia na government no nkutin oidoye yenso ebetimi aboaboa na yenso yetimi aye bibi ne yadaboa Anomabo kro no yenhwe farming oye very important mam kakra ono ebobo ni to yembre nti ebobo ni to na yenhwe farming oba Anomabo what is some of the farming project okodo wa ha and ndoban no mo himfa na air water harvest e wa Anomabo apa.
Anomabo is a very vast traditional area. But I would mention the satellite communities, the major ones now. Nyamani Fiifi today, and Sanfu today, Akraman, Kutukrum, Izimwar, Bianamwa, baby today, Taido, Pomaze, in the Simon Mampong, Bofidu. What also, in fact, Anomabo satellite communities in the Dawson T. Mambo be our one. But when it comes to farming, the more communities, satellite communities in the way of farming, 98%. Young farming produce are up by in markets, up by in quadri in Arano, Ofi, the Mumbiano Noba. Na, which is the PFG planting for food and jobs. It be a baby. We are driving other things there. You can see there's another one district, one factory project, or poultry, or delay, but as I speak to you, in earnest to a certain level. Miranda, but I was very busy. Otherwise, I would have had pictures for you. But also, Rokodo. And see, Motuma Kade Aban is pushing. In fact, we are also pushing to make some of the communities a cocoa producing community. European de yebe dua cocoa and kwadu de bebre. And also Ozisika Babra Henu Yanoma na Hen Ejanum and Nanoma we kwafu. As I speak to you, Bebre Kodo, one kasa on their personal levels where but the PFJ no so. As an assembly member, I'm privy to a lot of stuff there. Waba Bim, ma was a number was a woman. But I am a so that it was a funny been so wagin. Personally, many it was be a boom, coconut farm. Individuals we work shooting, and it's sad to put in an effort to bring certain things into being, and you have individuals who are clandestinely using evil means to bring everything backwards. Sabi, say yeah, me feel mabo na me still me what then a peda me the mazana. I would go away easily. The Maziam, the Honorable Kennedy Japan, he's had several experiences of these. That when you go into a community and you try to set up something for the indigents of that community, the same indigents bring you down. And it is sad.
Black mentality.
Yes. Oh, yeah, yo. Until Omama, so Obifi baby impono or the Nazareba, a cup chia wouldn't ye be, so if you want to put down confident him, Zane and Isika and Fambabua, are reluctant to come because Ababa Yabana, oh, be best saying. So I would advise those of us who have that mentality there. Young children, say young them, young man, onion quenim. Obi yado in this kind of name zero bar, the most soon abundant was another Basanaco, the man was
employment, young employment, mammy who there or a Pufujuma. Na ekujuma na oye main ejuma owa na yesho order ejuma because e kade your academians wa ha oba employment education na zi teachers na zi nti ehwa aba employment no wokum ha mbobu nusu wonye bi oye ana oyede aban no obaye bibi na ochede ana wona wo diaspora ana yona wo outside Ghana, not only in the diaspora, other African countries ana Ghana wo Accra na zin abadi no de ye wa ano boa na mputu juma nso okodoa.
I quite remember our president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, made a pronouncement, and some of the media houses and personalities who, excuse my language, have skewed mindsets what the propaganda can say me. But one thing that I've gotten to realize in life is that nobody becomes a millionaire or rich when that person is a salaried worker. Just like that. We are that for Obiani was all you be there, you man, which and a couple some cake. Nobody is king that bit. And 1 hour is caffeine, they did their private stuff. I mean, Sabi, me match as a crack for some few months that. Now, my man, when you're there, if you strive to become independent as an entrepreneur, the manga summary set up we can crack. Mazibo kumenyim na ebere bibia benijuma obi mes. That is the mindset of so many of us. Maybe school ombe maybe school me was our yimizibi when it's ma not able to set up something for himself or herself, but he is not doing.
Can my abana beya man no way
obi ya banu ko tin obi mbaye otna condition wa botai. But I have learned some things from Alatafo. I don't want to use the English name, but what I'm called for, what business, what entrepreneurship, chen. Okay, you'll be Nepal, you'll be also a servant to some time. Now, yes, the government has a responsibility to also create for the youth to also have certain employment. The certain individuals, private persons, also have that responsibility. But I'm not sure that Yemfahin hopes Nina Yemfankoto. Let us also think outside the box.
Because young president no encourage private sector, which is entrepreneurship, or do be a new Jumaye. But young Babuna Wahano, how can they? Because when you want to establish something, you have to have fun to start with. So, what are you, the opinion leaders, doing to establish something that will help this youth to be able to gather some money and start doing something for their own? On their own, sorry.
Ewa, the issue, are too. You will be often business proposals. Ask so many of the youth, how many of them have been able to create business proposals? Tangible business proposals. Because it is not even only government. There are individual private people that if you approach with very attractive and very good business proposals, they are willing to help. Aside government. But Oba the now them. Proposal are usher the details of activities, intended activities. How do you go forward with that? It is a major challenge. The anaida me padame yadam, but anamono do to accomplish it on ye. It is that thing is a major headache. Over the hina. I am not saying all of the youth are the same. There are some of them who act like that. Ibinum, they do fantastically well. Obi, uncle source fund from anywhere, but why a nice small setup. If you have to sit and do a quick calculation of how much that person makes, when we are originally now I start. That is all we do. Sit and do a calculation or discuss somebody else. I would urge all of us, yes, the government has to do its part. People who sometimes but I will tell you that 80% of that chunk lies on us. Because we will be Sabizuma, some men with a man could be where we had more had anima 2-3 years. Yaka said, how would you be encouraged to come and set up a business?
Mamum so good more because she said in him there, your baby are outside. they are thinking of coming down here to establish a business. So what are we telling them out there? And what are some of the things that you, the opinion leaders, are doing to kind of contain such situations? Obama woman or diaspora, what be settle finally. Obeti wants what infrastructure na yerkano, and yerka say entrepreneurship no, what you the ba no bobwama and mabunsuboko.
I would say that I would urge everyone out there, whether in the diaspora or even in Ghana, the Obaya investment behind Anomabo and its environs, Anomabo traditional area, that person is welcome because I card they will receive. Even with a I would say they come in a clandestine way. A while time that I was saying, or a baby. As in the problems about nature man or the paying for him. Don't do so. Everybody, you and him, I am for assembly members or other opinion leaders, or you should come and meet the people that you need to meet. When the missus say, Biana, what plan has it been put? You shouldn't sit out there and just conjecture in your head that and that's it. You must come to Anomabo, seek advice from local people, and know how to move forward. Sunday, Obi no me do my yarafo. It's never be an teacher, Ebabana in Yama or Hano on favor. How do you go about it? So I would urge our brothers and sisters out there in the diaspora across the globe that the doors of Anomabo is wide open for business and so many other stuff in the developmental structures and stuff. But whatever apart from dealing with government institutions like the municipal assembly, when you come into the community, meet the chiefs and the other opinions. And I also urge him for no so there. More here there, what by one cutting, we shall we chiro one kaya. But problem over pepe. No, assemblyman. Them. No. Let it be holistic. Other opinion leaders in Yambum, assembly members are info. We respect them for who they are.
Transparency.
Not just even transparency, keke. But they see as an waba, they na yimin. Emi me experience kakramo and I him zika kramo no mazabatuga. And I wanna rebano. You will learn something from it. Because I'm in a meeting locality them. What to mark out or they ha. The mazi BC. Inti yanadam nafa fandom. If I sabi additions womb. That is basically what I'm saying. But much shredder and I am funny being so. Said the master and about more than one good thing so wait when you met you up nine never issue by that. Was it one assemblyman or friend Fiifi Asare? Go to Fiifi Asare. I'm a Fiifi. If I don't know who you are, Eba Masoman Casson.
If I don't know who you are, Eba Mansu Mankasson, but Ankasson, on ye, Ebeka, because if you open one to a decasson, Fiifi Cracrano, Iribisa, a lot of things must be done in Anomabo. The president alone or the government alone cannot do it. We have people, indigenous of Anomabo, who are in the diaspora, who are in West Africa, the whole world. At large, what are some of the things will you tell them to come and help so that Anomabo will be projected?
There are a lot of stuff. In fact, as I speak to you, and health issues, the Nchayebe Pede in health center. In fact, we've been fighting to make it into an accident and trauma center. From Winneba. As a Basinukui, aside Winneba, there is nothing like that there. Is it every time that OBC Jidawoku Winneba? We should have another of that infrastructure here. Yes, Aban was there over there. yekum. But I believe that groups of people from Anomabo, or even if not from Anomabo, but with this kind of mindset elsewhere, say utumbo bonwano na utum was a mwaba, ibutum ya expand the facilities, build another na equipment wise. Obey handle. Sunday, Anomabo has gradually grown into a big community. American means Akusha from Abanza, in fact, from Sopon Azareba. Communities in Yatuma Zikobiwa. And see, we are more or less living in a cosmopolitan area. And see, in Wopiara, Obotum Wenya was about in health structures, equipment, and the building itself. We would very much appreciate that. When it comes to education, often the books want some often motivation to teachers. Na nyamaka kroka kahu
ICT about computers.
ICT in particular, because now ICT is a driving force in so many areas. I'm an IT person. My background is IT. And I very much appreciate IT to the level that there is going to come a time that everything is going to pass through IT. How are kids going to cope if, say, ICT equipment or YBASAPE and YPP and who use? Sabi, we don't necessarily need the very new things. So slightly used, but a little modern. Mankada wankafa a cake.
Outmoded.
Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3. But at least if you take like a quad core, I3 generations. Now we are even in the 11th generation, which means I3 is already 11, 12 years plus. Sabi enya I3 even put a 4th generation, 5th generation even prior. Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, or a super cake. But all I'm saying is that we need these equipment in order to educate our younger ones with IT. Ama obolu pempen bibino na yamana obi ikakama usa oroko hwade kuren ansana wehu. So ICT ono danchan education on some books, as I said, ono danchan scholarships for brilliant but needy. Brilliant but needy. I'm emphasizing on it. Brilliant but needy. Only there, young communities in Pembe and Fenia, every children in a scholarship on Wadama, Kusimin Sibia, no Otumutia number, one tertiary level. Mona Kawanakasawa. Currently, as we speak, free education in T, secondary school level, second cycle, a calca crabia buying there, Sabi, trunk, no one whether the school fees being paid or not. Because secondary school need your fees full, and so it's a trunk boko, it's a chop box boko. Number tertiary level, no, and our people are finding it difficult footing the bills there. If Ubotum account wabum by scholarship schemes for the youth in Anomabo, for them to be able to educate themselves tertiarily. The last but not the least, the Yenebusian Fawa war Anomabo, Yenuan Bakasade. In Zambabi wa ma yebi. Disrespect for the elderly in the community, disrespect for opinion leaders, disrespect for teachers and what have you. Yes, I constantly say one can get angry, But it doesn't mean you have to spew nonsense. Ubufu anjale sabi nkwasi akeke bia na raka. One is entitled to get angry, but when you get angry, watch the kind of things that you say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yabeda wasi no kwa no nche bi o wa de be mampinfu bi ananse ma be ka no kwa. Sise yamwa mo remfi Mr. Fiifi Asare our assemblyman si yamwa education na mo ka ho nyina infrastructure most importantly health orisi hospital bi oboboa because if you winiba ereba bedu Anomabo no ye ni health facility bia wa ha ajibia so obiara ye no ko winiba which is very very appalling nti ye hia health facility equipment na ze na structure na nkasa no ede wo boa na etimi wie no kra Mr. Fiifi Asare yadase na kra no ebechia amanfo ebi ni bi na ya sori dwumade no
zikan bechia nananam ntitu na amonu kantamanto the 11th na mechia na nabafo na agui na oyansa na oka na maramo wofa tufuyin afa Anomabo paramount na akodam basaw mechia mu nyina sabi obi amambo uzinu ye bapaye zino doso. And I would also greet His Excellency Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, and I would say thank you to him and say thank you to Honorable Kwanzaa Hayford of blessed memory and Honorable Ophelia Mensah Hayford, current MP, Honorable Claudino, the current MC, and Munya Namunka Honorable Joseph Amonu, Assembly member for 20 minimum. Honorable Catherine Abaka, appointee, you are fantastic. Honorable Justice Nuno, Dodua for Bubu, and Honorable Kuba, we are Assembly members for Anomabo. I'll greet you and I'll say, let us all bring hands together, bring heads together, and bring Anomabo up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Many the only Sakura assemblyman in the central region, Edinkomo, Mr. Fiifi Asare. No Sakura, watch for Papa. Muhuno Okobe getting to 11 to 12 years, but still able to na or chere nitiri de yes, Adrina woman also our ATV. You better when you see Obunoma TV na we know from Zuma.madi. I mean amidi Jumadinu Chiami up close with Assemblyman Mr. Fiifi Asare. You better when you see more if you over subscribe now wa share wa like now wa comment. More here mind over hit notification bell no. Anytime I ever drop a video biano now we so saka na chere bibia atona kwenu. Anomabo na we are still uncovering Anomabo. Anomabo is the place to be. You better Mr. Fiifi Asare no be our hair and I say that's an ever say share be nyankopon share nyina. Bye bye.